Hey everybody, I am Meredith Mynrose. I'm a universal healer and a peace visionary. I'm gonna do a universal astrology message for the sign Taurus, and we're gonna use some tarot decks and oracle decks. So, just shuffling a little bit more. Was it 7? Yeah. Woo! Got 2 out. Whoo, 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 whoo. Whoo, 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 whoo. You guys are making it very easy for me. Thank you, universe. So far, just slide it out. Oh no, 7. 3, 4. Oh my god, it's exactly what I needed. 7 cards. So this came out. This was underneath here. And this was like that. So it's actually upside down. This card is the 5 Cups reverse, Wheels of Fortune. Was it? Yeah, Wheels of Fortune was reversed, right? And this was also reversed. But then we have the Page of Wands, and we have. I'm not sure how I'm going to do with this. Oh. Okay. 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 I think some of you guys have mom issues. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we exactly have 7. Wait, 3 and 4. Yep. Okay, let's see. 5 of Cups in reverse. Wheels of Fortune in reverse. 7 of Pentacles. Page of Wands. Some of you are going overseas or something. Queen of Wands, feeling tied down. 8 of Swords, and then 10 of Cups. What is happening with everybody almost getting like a good news in the end? Because I just did my Aries sign, and this is a Taurus sign to the Taurus people here. The Aries got like Ace of Pentacles, which is financial gains, and the card before that was like emotional fulfillment, and then you guys actually have 10 of Cups, and they had like 9 Cups and Ace of Pentacles, but you guys have Wheel of Fortune. So what I can see in the first sense, my first gut speech, if my gut had a mouth that could speak, my first gut is saying that some of you guys have mother issues, and you're a traveler, or you live far from your mom, and you actually have like I feel like you had an emotional chaotic moment, and then you abandoned your fortune to make it on your own, and you whoa, I don't know what that was. So the card here is like from the Page of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the 8 of... You feel tied down by the validation of your mother, but you have this 10 of Cups at the end. So no faith is lost doing what you did. You feel tied down by your mother, What is it now? I'm just going to get another deck to see what it's saying, because it's still far from reach right now. So I'm just going to use this card to really connect me to the message. Yeah, you have a dream of a happy family. You have a dream of a emotional joy. But you felt that there are things that blinds you from moving forward, that penetrated your trust, that number one card, like 2, 3, 4. You felt like, I don't know if this is like a message for Taurus or a message that is very personal to me. Oh my god, something just slipped out. Oh, we had another card, patience. This first card was imagination. Why are you guys giving the same card as Taurus? It's crazy. The unicorns are giving me the same message. Almost. Did I pull 2, 3 or 4 unicorn cards? I feel like there's a lot of mixed messages and negative messages for Taurus. Like, you are surrounded by mixed messages. There are untrustworthy people around you, and you felt binded by those words that was said. Whew, I can feel some healing coming out. I don't mean to make it personal, because I feel like, whoa, is this a personal reading for me or for others? Because I resonated in a different way. Okay, I'm just going to slice it and take another 2. Okay, number 1 and number 2. Sanctuary. Oh my god, you're trying to find a home. Oh, Taurus. And then number 4 is magic. Oh my god, make a wish. Make a wish. Believe in miracles and magic surrounds you. This is a wish come true card. You, Taurus, wants to find a real home. I'm feeling for you. I'm gonna cry. I'm very... I have this very low key about crying. I cannot... Like, sad things makes me sad. Like, I cannot... Like, because my tears are so effed up because of what happened to me in the past, I easily cry. I don't have tolerance to sadness anymore. And I'm telling myself I have to learn to be cold and cruel. Damn. Dude, I feel for you. Sending you a lot of love and light, because I feel you. You're strong. And I see this card. I feel like you've been grieving over things that it's unfortunate, but you're strong. And you actually think that luck is not on your side. You don't think that the universe is on your side. Whoa. There's so much sadness. There's so much pain. You're trying to make your own living, and you're trying to soar or explore the earth or explore the world, but you feel tied down by your mother, and you feel like there were nasty things that's been said that couldn't be taken back, that you held on to as vengeance or as like emotional grudge. But the same thing is that if you can use those words as an emotional grudge, you can also get out of the prison that you live in. So with this card, the Eight of Swords, I feel like you're living in a verbal prison, a mental prison. You're living in an emotional, mental, verbal prison where you feel like you're being hounded by the voices of your mother or by the voices of a female person who's always trying to step over you and control you and like curb you from having too much free spirit, from having too much dream, from having too much ambition, from having too much vision, imagination, from having magic, like to believing in magic. I feel like you were not allowed, like I feel like you may be surrounded by pessimistic people. Like if you believe that you have good luck, people around you would say, you gotta work hard, you gotta show the effort, you cannot just trust on your luck. So that's why you feel like the world is kind of like unfortunate for you and like unlucky for you, and you're always very suspicious of unlucky times, unlucky days, unlucky, just like you are very, what is that word, suspicious, superstitious. You are a very superstitious person. I feel like you're trying to find a real home in life. This card, Sanctuary. It says here, take time out from the world, spend more time alone, meditate, or go on a retreat. I feel like you actually have an obnoxious addiction to surround yourself with popular people, cool people, people who you use to sedate your sadness. You're sedating your sadness by surrounding yourself with the cool crowd or the hipster crowd or the models crowd or any crowd that would enhance your self-esteem. So you associate to crowds of people who enhances your self-esteem, and you sedate your sadness, you sedate your vulnerability, and you're not making room for your inner child to express its truth, its reality. So I think that this energy, this sanctuary energy, was it sanctuary energy? No. This magic energy. So it's like if there was such thing as negative magic, then it's superstitious. If there was positive superstition, then it's magic. So you're like on the side of the you don't see the world as a fortunate world, you see the world as a unfortunate world. So why should I care about other people's misfortune when I have my own? So you don't have much empathy, but you don't have much empathy for others, and you don't have much empathy for yourself. So it's going to be really hard for you to nurture your own inner child, to care for your feelings when you don't practice empathy irregularly in your daily life, but you do have sadness that you do not console, and other people don't know that they could help you console it because you don't even acknowledge your internal sadness, because it's just unfortunate to you and you're just accepting it as, it's just unfortunate that I experience this sadness, but I don't have to linger and ponder, and I don't have to care about my own sadness. Other people don't care, and I'm sure as hell not going to care about my own sadness. But that's a form of self-avoidance or self-ignorance or like self-abandonment. You're abandoning your heart, and you're abandoning your ability to nurture, console, and soothe yourself. So that's why you're always running away and like being around people so much, trying to forget and trying to remove your sadness, your despair, your frustration, and you're always avoiding feeling. You're always avoiding feeling. One thing you may not even have is the patience to feel your true self. And I'm not saying this as an insult, I'm just saying a blunt, direct truth. I'm going to take out the water element, the mermaid card. I guess I don't see that your mother is an emotionally warm person, unless she is just like on the outside she is emotionally warm because it's expected, because she's a very good chameleon, like, you know, those type of people who's a sociopath. I'm not saying that every one of you has a sociopathic mother. I'm just saying that so term clause asterisk mark, this is my second time doing this, so I may make mistakes. This is maybe imperfect, but I'm trying. I'm allowing myself to fail and make mistakes and grow. If this doesn't resonate to you, you're welcome to just kind of like X, kind of just get out and just move on to another video. So hopefully, I hope that this resonates to you guys who are Taurus, people with the sign Taurus, astrology sign Taurus. Okay, I'm going to pull out how many cards? 4, 3. How many cards, Mermaid? Tell me. Mermaid, tell us a message for the Taurus energy for this month, April. 1. Okay, got 3. Whoa. Honor the masculine. Respecting men, embracing the masculine divine. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Whoa, what was that? Look at that. Reflections. What you contemplate can actualize. Oh my goodness. It matches with this. Sanctuary. Meditate or go on a retreat. Spend more time alone. I always get complementing energy between the unicorn and mermaid when I do this card pull. So out of, so far from my 2 videos I've done, out of this all, I feel that you would benefit so much by meditating and being alone, which is exactly what you don't want to do. All your life you don't want to be alone. You've always surrounded yourself with people. You've always sedate the tiger, sedate the free spirit, and you've always followed other people's rhythm rather than building your own rhythm. The energy here, reflections, it says what you contemplate can actualize. So I feel that when you actually respect your feelings, when you hear your feelings, you respect your feelings and you acknowledge it, you're actually allowing magic to bloom. It means you're respecting yourself enough to feel worthy, to build your fortune, to build your luck, to build your sense of belonging. And I think that one of the things that you really struggle, maybe a sense of belonging, a sense of like, you know, this is where I came from, or this is like, I feel like you may struggle with feeling belonged because you always have this subconscious fear that you have to prove you belong. You have to prove your, it's the same thing that you were raised with this environment where you are told that you have to work to prove. And I think your mental complexity is that you're trapped in trying to prove, trying to show to people that you're good, you can. And it's like, if you cannot prove it, then you cannot actualize it. But when it's like you're trapped in a superficial version of yourself and you are not able to enter a genuine and authentic version of yourself where you don't have to prove anything, you can just be yourself. Because you've always been running around to be around people who can uplift your self-esteem, so that means you're like always trying to prove to them that you're like them. But when you're being yourself, you don't have to prove to anyone that you're like anybody, because you're just simply accepting yourself, and you don't have to prove to others that they have to accept you too. But you've been doing that. You've been running around like following other people's mood and following other people's trend and following other people's style or following other people's accepted version of who they are, and you're trying to blend it like them. But you have to find your independence. You have to find your own groove by self-reflection, by... we haven't opened the third card. You have divine sensuality. I think this card says self-love. I think the energy here is that you struggle with self-love, and you've been giving love to others more than loving yourself, and eventually you get so tired of loving others that you get exhausted and very strained emotionally. Maybe because you have a sociopathic mother. I'm not so sure that this is not personal, but I'm just thinking that I have someone in mind when I'm thinking about this. I have someone in mind. I feel like I'm actually reading her energy. Okay, you also have honor the masculine, and I feel like this energy, honor the masculine, respecting men, embracing the masculine divine. I feel like, is it? Alright. What is it? So I feel like you may look down on people with healthy masculinity. You look down on women who have independence. You may look down on people who have independence, have qualities. Like you look down on female or girls who have masculine attributes that you don't have. Like, because you may be superficial and they may be genuine. I'm not saying that all Taurus are superficial. Some of you may be authentic, you know? I'm just saying from this reading, and it may only resonate to some of you. I'm not sure, but I'm just doing what I am doing. I think when you... First is like you struggle with acceptance. You struggle with self-acceptance because you've been chasing other people's acceptance. Second is that you have issues with other people's masculinity, especially if they're women. If they have this masculinity, you look down on their masculinity because the way I see it, you were raised with your masculinity looked down, because when you try to be assertive, you get shut down or dismissed and mocked or laughed at or not taken seriously. So you automatically revert that behavior to other people who are assertive, have dominating personality. And you don't like people who speak their mind. You don't like people who have identity or independence, or you don't like women who have this authenticity or individuality, especially if they have individuality. But that only reveals that you were not allowed to have those attributes, maybe due to your environment as a child, and you naturally will grow to dislike it in other people because you unconsciously have have accepted that it's not all right to have those masculine qualities or attributes. And this card is actually saying honor the masculine, honor your masculine, and honor other people's masculine. If you admire other people's individuality, honor it, because you will build empathy to honor your own masculinity, and you will learn to honor and respect your own voice, independence, individuality, and you learn to accept the flaws in yourself. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to reach for the clouds in order to be who you are. You don't have to be narcissistic. You don't have to charm people and win their trust and win their favors and win them by your charm. You just gonna be just simply accepted, because you no longer have to reach for the cloud nine. You're just reaching your deepest internal reflection. What you can contemplate, what you contemplate can actualize. So you don't have to. So I see that you have a lot of deprogramming of your brain, a deprogramming of your brain from your childhood, so that you can have this kind of like a sense of feeling belonging, feeling especially exclusively belonging in your body. If you hate certain things about your body, if you hate certain things about your face, if you hate certain things about your body type, you can learn to love those flaws and accept yourself without trying to change it. And you can emotionally nurture and soothe yourself rather than depending on other people to give that to you. Okay, so now we have, I'm going to pull out this life purpose card. We may use the dragon, I think. I'm not sure. Let me think. To some of you who may get upset with what I'm saying, I'm not saying it to hurt you. I am just saying what I sense. And some psychics don't have filter to sugarcoat, and that's me. I don't sugarcoat. I'm actually very surprised with this reading. I've never done a reading where I'm actually talking to somebody who may be a little bit superficial or a lot superficial. But maybe that's just my interpretation and other people's interpretation of the energy reading for Taurus. If your sun sign or moon sign or rising sign Taurus, there might be all sorts of messages. So if this does not resonate, I am very sorry. You can just move on to other videos. Thank you so much though for spending your time here with me. Okay, so life purpose card. What advice or messages could help Taurus with what we've had so far? Nothing actually slipped or popped out, so I'm just gonna pull out from here. Oh god. Why am I getting the same card from like different readings? Okay, so it says here body work. Body work. Your life purpose involves body work such as massage therapy, energy healing, physical therapy, or exercise training. From what I know, a bunch of Taurus, I only know like one or two, actually just, I can remember from my fingers, like just one. They actually love massage. So if you're a Taurus, if body work like massage makes you feel good, you deserve it. Divine sensuality is body pleasure as well. So if you love massages, go ahead and learn about massages or go get one. Maybe you're not a type of person who likes to do exercise. I don't know if I kind of like know this person, but okay. But I think, let me just really check through. I really feel that massage therapy and energy healing is something that you could explore, because energy healing is going to help you with this ability to reflect and the ability to build empathy, to build more emotional sensitivity to your own feelings, to be more aware of your own feelings, so that you get to respect your boundaries and get to develop your divine masculinity and get to develop your individuality, and you develop your self-acceptance, so that you don't have to associate your self-esteem to connecting to groups of people who have something that you want. You don't have to what's that word? Counteract. You don't have to subsidize your lack of self-esteem to associating to a group of popular kids. You can actually build your self-esteem by your ability to be self-accepting. So massage therapy and energy healing, if you have never heard of energy healing, it's like chakra. You can use crystals. You can get Reiki if you believe in that, or chakra healing, especially your heart chakra. You have to learn to have more empathy for others and more empathy for yourself, because from what I see is that you were raised in a way that you believe life is an unfortunate thing to some people. So when it's unfortunate, I don't have to have empathy to unfortunate people, even though I could. So sometimes, I'm not saying this in a bad way, because some of you may be charitable, but you could gain more by having more healthier empathy, because it's going to help you grow your authenticity, if authenticity is something that you want. Unless you're actually okay with being superficial, then go ahead, that is your life. I'm not judging you. If you're okay with yourself, and you're actually on this video just because you're bored, and you might want to try this readings and then this guidance, then you're open-minded and you want to stop being binded by the disapproval of your controlling mother figure. Okay, another card. What opportunities that you took that was disapproved of by your mother? What dreams and belief and career path that you decided to take that was seen as a waste of time, or was seen as junk, or was seen as unworthy in her eyes? When you learn to accept yourself despite of your mother's, I can only feel a mother energy for the Taurus. When you can accept yourself despite of the mother dilemma that you have, you will learn to find home in your soul, home in your body, and home in your present moment. We're using the Wisdom of the Tree Oracle. We're using this Wisdom of the Tree Oracle to give you another, I think this is it. Cedar of Lebanon. The Cedar Tree of Lebanon. Let me check this book. Cedar of Lebanon. Where is it? Spiritual strength. Number 30. Trust your instincts and let your conscience guide you toward making the right decisions, especially if you're currently facing a difficult challenge. Know that you are steadfast and grounded as the biggest trees in the forest. I feel like you are in like a fork in the road. I feel like you are faced with like a very life-changing decision, aren't you? Center of Lebanon Deva message. Humans have respected and worked with me for millennia. They use my wood to make their temples because they recognize that I can give them spiritual strength. Let me help you to become rooted in your own spirituality. So I think that your spirituality is also your individuality, because spirituality is a personal thing. It's not like religion. It's not like career. It is a personal heart matter. It's your heart's matter. So when you need to make a very important life decision, you really need to trust your heart, to trust your feelings. And it's going to be hard if you don't listen to your heart and you've been evading feeling your personal truth. So that's why the messages from the mermaid actually really tells you that please reflect. Please reflect in order to realize your truth, to realize what you really like, what you really want in life, who you really love. Maybe you're deciding between two guys. If you're in a relationship, you're deciding between two guys. I just had to say something. Or maybe a career. Maybe you want to stay overseas, or you don't want to come back to your home country. Reflection, sanctuary, divine sensuality, imagination, magic, sanctuary, patience. So you have to have you're stubborn. Why is it stubborn and patience is different? Stubborn and hard-headed. You're stubborn and hard-headed. That makes you very hard to recoil. Recoil. Coiling? And if there's like this wire and you make it twisted into a coil, into a round bend, like a spring, and you have to learn to uncoil it. So you're very hard-headed because you have a grudge. You have an emotional grudge. You're very hot-headed and hard-headed, stubborn. You're very stubborn, a hothead, and hard-headed. And it's hard for you to heal from nasty things people say because you cannot ease your emotional grudge. You cannot ease your emotional grudge. I just need to stretch. I need to stretch. Oh, I wish this chair was like a massage chair so that I can ow my feet. So you need the spiritual strength, and that means you need the emotional strength and the mental strength, the mental clarity without the grudges, emotional grudge or stubborn-headedness, to decide for yourself what's good for you. Sometimes you're actually making decisions that annoys other people, that trips and triggers other people to be mad, to be angry, because you thrive on other people's reaction, you thrive on other people's response, because somehow I'm going back to the energy of a narcissist. It might be that you have that qualities of a narcissist, that you are just living off of other people's reactions and response rather than being authentic and being an individual, like making decisions for your own good, making decisions for your own future, making decisions for your own well-being. And because you cannot connect to your inner individuality, your spirituality, you're not listening to your gut instincts and intuition, it's hard for you to make a decision that's best for you, and you might F up and make a decision just to annoy a person, just because you want to pull a grudge or tiff someone off in revenge or vengeance, and like, I'm doing this because you have insulted my dignity and I'm going to pay you by pissing you off and like degrading you, insulting you, demeaning you. So this is a universal astrology message. This is my second time doing this. Okay, so spiritual strength. Let me just give you some meaning about this nature tree book. In the ancient Sumerian world about 5000 BCE, the cedar was regarded as the world tree and the home of Ea, the god of wisdom. You guys need more wisdom. Successive civilizations continued to treat the cedar with awe and reverence. It features in the story of Gilgamesh, who was punished after destroying a cedar forest for its timber. Cedar wood is valued for the beauty and the color of its grain, its spicy scent, and its resistance to rot and insect damage. This makes it ideal for building houses and ships. Small pieces in wardrobes are good moth deterrents. Okay, that might not even help you guys with your own issue right now, but what I caught myself thinking while I was reading this was that your throat chakra and your heart chakra needs healing. You can focus on having more empathy and saying what you mean rather than saying something to piss people off. Taking the time with this energy of patience to really find your voice. You really need to find your voice. Some of you have really bad throat chakra energy, so you really need to learn to find your voice and then take the time to express yourself rather than being too quick to say what you don't mean just because they might want you to say it, or that's what they want to hear. Because you're a people pleaser, you just say what other people want to hear rather than telling people what you really feel. So that's where you have to uncoil your stubbornness, your mental rigidity. You're very stubborn, you're very narrow-minded. But not all Taurus are like this. I'm only sharing to those who resonate. And I'm so sorry if you might not resonate. But maybe you resonate to other bits though. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just trying my luck with this video. Okay, so in regards with trying to please your mother, when you find your individuality and self-acceptance, you find it easier to release her grasp from your throat if she's like choking your energy, choking your self-expression and choking your voice and not letting you be yourself, express your own uniqueness, individuality, and not be a perfect mold of her. And you're trying to get out of being the perfect mold of your mother. Eventually you will have emotional wishes come true, fulfillment. You will feel belong. You will feel accepted. You will feel loved because you learn to do that to yourself, because you learn to respect your divine masculinity. You will learn it. Honor the masculine, respecting men, embracing the masculine divine. And I feel like you can turn the wheel around of not thinking life is unfortunate, but life is full of fortune and life is filled with magic. Here is the card of magic. Life is so pretty, right? Magic. Life is so filled with magic. Believe in miracles. Magic surrounds you. And you can have the rainbow. You can have the rainbow and enjoy the rainbow. And you can have a happy family. You can have, maybe in your childhood, you've experienced divorce with your parents. And that may have shut you off personally. And that might have caused you to have this personality of a people pleaser, and you kind of abandon your heart because you don't want to feel abandoned, but you abandon your heart because you want to like make sure that both of side of your parents actually wants to be loved and be assertive, and you unconsciously become a caretaker for everybody around you but yourself. So it's time for you to have divine sensuality. Was it divine sensuality? With the mermaid. Yeah. It's time for you to have divine sensuality and love yourself rather than taking care of other people around you. You do that. You care for people, but not from your heart, from your actions. And you're doing that to please other people rather than like doing it because you want to, but you're doing it out of necessity because you think you're responsible to take care of other people's emotions, but at the same time you're not doing it in a healthy way. So it's very codependent. You're very giving in a very codependent and toxic way. So that's what makes you superficial and narcissistic in a very harmful way. You do it out of a need to please rather than self-love and self-acceptance and like doing it because you enjoy doing it. You don't enjoy being a people pleaser, obviously. You enjoy the rewards of being a people pleaser when people validate you and when people acknowledge you and when people approves of you and people give you this warmth, and you're seeking for the warmth that you can actually give it to yourself, because when you love yourself with divine sensuality, you can embrace validating yourself, approving yourself, acknowledging your worth, and building your self-esteem and feeling good without depending on other people to be around you. And that's why it's very important for you to have this time to like stop hanging out with people who you're trying to become, like you're associating to these groups and groups of people. Stop, isolate yourself for a little while, meditate, reflect, learn about your feelings, journal, write, express your feelings, and just learn to love yourself and believe in your voice, believe in your gut, and work with your heart and throat chakra. I hope that this universal astrology message for Taurus for April resonates to you guys who are Taurus. This is my second time doing this, so I hope you guys can give me a feedback. Let me know if you resonate, if you don't resonate, because I'm pretty sure some may not resonate, you know? Sorry. But you know, I am growing, I'm learning, I just want to try something new. My name is Meredith Mynrose. I'm a universal healer and a peace visionary. Thank you guys for watching this video. Check out my other videos if you're interested. I do some other videos as well. So, from my heart to yours, beautiful blessings and prayers of grace. Don't be so sad, Taurus. And if you're sad, soothe yourself, because you can. I believe you can soothe yourself. You can accept and soothe yourself and comfort yourself and have faith in yourself that you're gonna be alright. Because this card is saying nice things about your future and your life. You will learn what you need to do and you will be wiser. So take care, Taurus people, Taurus earthlings. I will see you next time. For now, farewell, bye.